Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to another episode of the Just for Giggles podcast. I'm your host, Aubrey Friedrich, and we're back for another sit down, life update, one on one chat session. I'm feeling good about it. I've got some stories from like around Christmas time that I've yet to share because we've all been graced by the couple of guests that we've seen so far. So, to start off strong, let's see, older sister, cousin, and I went to go to Dollar General to get wrapping paper for the lovely Christmas presents we were gifting to those we love for the holidays. And we walk in and we're walking around. We know this Dollar General like the back of our hand at this point, and we can't find anything. All we can find is like the birthday slot, literally just every other themed wrapping paper except for Christmas. So we're like, let's we both decided on one that's no particular theme. Like she picked out one that was like red with white polka dots, and I picked one that was like white that had silver on it. We were good. We were fine and dandy. We go up to check out. We're like the only ones in the store at this point. And the cashier girl was like, "Did you guys want like Christmas wrapping paper or is this stuff okay?" And I was like, "Wait, yeah." And she literally points right next to her where the Christmas wrapping paper is. Mind you, she's right by the door. Right by the freaking door. And I'm just like, bruh. So I go and I'm standing there and I pick out a new wrapping paper and I turn towards my cousin and I'm like, "Can you go put this back while I'm checking out?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "There's nobody in line. There's nobody in line after us." And I was like, "I'll be right back. I'm going to go put this back where it belongs because I'm nice." And I walk back and I put it where it goes. And then I come back to check out. And she's literally laughing. Like they're all laughing their butts off. Like they were like borderline peeing themselves. Like this cashier looked like she had never heard or seen anything so crazy in her life. So then I'm laughing because when other people are laughing, I'm probably bound to laugh. And I was like, "Well, now you can go home and tell all of your loved ones or whoever that some psycho girl came into Dollar General and made for quite the evening." And she's like, "Oh, I will be telling my husband about this." And I was just like, I'm glad. I'm glad. So that was a night in itself. And then I tested my wrapping paper abilities. They're not very good. But they're better than they were last year. So hopefully it's only up from here, you know what I'm saying? In other news, I was working at the bowling alley and it was like super, super, super busy. Like it's a 16 lane bowling alley. I think it averaged 4 or 5 bowlers per lane, plus if there were any non bowlers in the building or if there were people over at the bar, there were people playing pool. So it was busy. And there were like birthday parties and stuff and whatnot. Oh, was that shift a real test of my patience? There not even a chance to breathe during that shift. Like I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time. But why I bring this particular shift up is because I guess parents just don't know how to control their kids. Like granted, I'm sure if I ever have kids, I'll probably be like, "What was I saying? Like this is a lot harder than it looks." And I'm sure it is, and I'm sure me saying this is going to come around to bite me in the butt. So shout out to all the parents out there. But I understand being in a public place and your kids having fun and talking and laughing and giggling, but these children were screaming. And they were right in front of the kitchen counter where I'm trying to take people's orders. And I'm also right next to this massive speaker blaring music. So I can't hear anything. And it's really annoying. And I'm right next to the air hockey table. So all I hear is the clink, clink, clink of the air hockey puck. Also, I forgot to mention if I look a little goofy or I sound a little goofy, it's because I woke up from a nap like half an hour ago. So, and I was zonked. Like, it was like a hardcore crazy nap. Anyway, I was getting dressed for work at the salon, not the bowling alley, because my bowling alley fits are obviously uniformed. But I was trying to decide which pair of shoes to wear, and it was two super basic options: my white Air Force Ones and my black and white Nike Dunks. Two super, super basic options. Like, you can't get more basic than that. And I was like, I literally stood there for probably a little longer than I should have, trying to decide which ones to wear. I don't remember which ones I ended up going with because that's how irrelevant of a decision it was, how minor of a decision it was. But after a moment of sitting there looking at it, I was just like, you know, I am so fortunate and privileged enough to have shoe options. Like, I'm a very lucky person to be able to have the money that I did to go buy those shoes to wear. So, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it was just a I humbled myself in a sense. Anyway, me and my coworkers did this little gift exchange. It was like a $5 little get everybody like a $5 thing, put it in their stocking. Fantastic. I got everybody cuticle oil pens. And I texted in the group chat because we were all like giving hints as to what we were gifting because I don't know, it's supposed to be like hidden. And I was like, guys, if you can't tell which one was from me, there's something wrong with your voice of reason because I'm the only nail tech that participated in the gift exchange. So, anywho, but anyway, I'm going through mine and I pull out some eye masks, like under eye masks, and I literally started laughing, hysterically laughing, cuz I literally said to Hope when I was like, I think they just see how tired and drained I look coming here every day, so they think I need this. Jokes aside, I love my job and I'm very happy there, and the environment is great. But just like every other job in the world, you're gonna have days where you're tired. You're tired, like what did Taylor Swift say? I get tired a lot, but I never get tired of it. Period. Anyway, back to the bowling alley because I'm just telling these stories in chronological order. And I was, minding my business. This dad and I assume son, because whoever knows, they come up to order, and this little boy, maybe 8 years old, and I just know for a fact, he would have been best friends with Kevin from Home Alone. He would have been besties with Kevin, just from the way he was acting and everything. But he looks at me and he goes, "You look really nice today." I did not look that great. Because I have to wear my hair up, because handling food. I had no makeup on, because why am I gonna do that? The only time I ever have makeup on at the bowling alley is if I had work at the salon earlier in the day. But anyway, his dad looks at him and he goes, "She's too old for you." And I was like, I literally started like, I was just like, oh my gosh. And I was like, well, you're raising him right, I can tell you that. And this little boy turns to his dad, and for sake of my digital footprint, he goes, "You Shahid." But obviously, hopefully, you can figure out what he actually said. But it literally cracked me up so hard. And I think by the end of the night, that kid's dad bought like 4 monsters. Ouch. Ouch. I had boba the other day. This is unrelated. And this was not like, I had boba like yesterday. Delicious. I forgot how much I loved it because I don't get it very often. So good. I got it at Big B. Like, my boss got us all Big B for lunch. And she said we could all get a drink and a sandwich. And I was like, period, let's do it. And I got a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. And I was eating it. And I was maybe a third of the way through. And I noticed there's literally like a piece of like wax paper in my sandwich. And I had eaten part of it. Granted, I have eaten paper before willingly, but like this was a little bit more alarming. I pulled the rest of it out and I didn't eat it, and I haven't gotten sick, and I haven't had any stomach issues since. And I could have thrown a fit and called them and complained if I wanted to, but I didn't. But the sandwich was really good. I don't know how I didn't notice, but it was really good. The sandwich and the boba, delicious. The other day when I was trying to go to bed, or no, it was when I woke up because every time my alarm goes off, because the hardest thing to do in a day is get out of bed, honestly. And I was like, wow, the temperature in my room versus the temperature under my blankets is just perfect. Even though lately it's been like super back and forth of whether or not need to turn on my ceiling fan or how many blankets I need to use. How many, the number of blankets doesn't really change. It's just a matter of whether or not I need to turn on the fan, or like if I want to wear pants to sleep, or if I want to wear shorts to sleep, stuff like that. Because let's see, this over the last like week or two, the temperature has been crazy. It's gone anywhere from like 20 to, I think today was like approaching 60. So just about everybody, and it's gonna cool down the next couple of days. So I guess everybody's just gonna end up sick. But I feel like that's probably my biggest reason for not wanting to get out of bed is because my bed is too comfy. And it's like I don't, yeah. And on that same thought with the weather, I miss summer so bad. So bad. Like this weather is just ugly. It's ugly, it's horrible. I miss the sunshine because the sunshine helps produce serotonin and whatnot, and it makes you feel more happy. And I also just love warm weather, and I love the earth having colors to its fullest extent, like the flowers and the sky being like blue, and the grass actually looking green and not like this dead, murky, ugly color, and all of that jazz, and like the butterflies and everything is, all of the what is I don't know, all of the animals that fly south, they all need to come back. The car that I just bought, I think I've mentioned this, it's a Jeep, and I don't know if the whole like ducking the Jeep thing is just like in around my area thing, or if this is like something that goes on around the state, around the country, around the world. I have no idea. But for those of you who don't know, apparently, because I thought people were just buying their own rubber ducks to put on their dashboard. Apparently, people with Jeeps buy ducks and they put them on other Jeeps' cars. But you can't put a duck on somebody's Jeep unless they already have one there to know that they're participating in the game. So I was at a shift at the bowling alley, and my coworker's daughter had just like walked up to me because I see her almost every shift. And she's like, I just won like 10 ducks from one of the claw machines. I was like, wait, can I have one? And she's like, yeah, what color? And I was like, what do you got? Do you have a pink one? And she's like, I have two dark pink and one light pink. And I was like, okay, I'll have a dark pink one so you can still have a light pink one. So I take it, I put it on my dashboard. I'm officially a part of the game. The next day, I go back to work at the bowling alley and I leave. There's a white duck sitting on my windshield. That literally made my day. That duck on my windshield literally made my day. So now I have two ducks. It makes me want to go to like Dollar Tree and buy a bunch of rubber ducks to go ducking in Jeeps. Is that a little absurd? Maybe. But I low key wouldn't be surprised if that duck was literally just Juan from the claw machine. But again, super awesome story. The other day, I was watching this YouTube video, and it was essentially about like explaining why we're all depressed. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Take everything I say on this pod with a grain of salt. Like, I'm just here to entertain. That's really it. But anyway, it got me thinking because he was saying stuff. Because I forget what, I think his name was Casey Simpson. I don't know. He was on Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, and he also like was on other various Nickelodeon shows. And I don't know. He showed up on my TikTok for you page, and I don't know. He said something about the video, and I went and watched the video. Okay, and it was something about how just like we've just kind of like plateaued as like a civilization, I guess, because like we've created phones and the TV and all of that, but the only thing that's changing is like the size and the shape and the color and these super minor updates within. that it's like nothing new and crazy. And same with like film and stuff. And film is just, especially lately, we've just been getting a bunch of like live action remakes or movies based on books or TV shows. Like we're not getting, or even like Broadway musicals. It's all just like based on things. We're not getting enough original content anymore. And like there's no new genres of music being created. And AI is everywhere. And we've all become so addicted to our cell phones and that whole instant gratification thing. And if we're not immediately entertained, it's, yeah. There was a lot of good things in that video. I found it very enlightening and educational, and that's life. I got asked the other day if I had any kids. I think that's a whole new aging question for me. If I had any kids. I think that beats being 24. Well, actually a little kid did ask me if I was a mom, but she didn't know any better. I don't think she understood. Obviously she didn't understand there was a difference between being an adult and being a mom. So someday. But my grown coworker, who's probably like in her 40s, late 30s, early 40s, I don't know. She asked me if I had any kids. And while I physically can, I don't. I don't have kids. I don't plan on having kids for at least 5 years. I chuckled when she asked me that because it was really funny. Another one of my coworkers, my life is literally just stories of random things that have involved my coworkers because they're just so interesting. They spice up my life in such an interesting way, which is why I think it's so important when it comes to like interviewing for a job or just starting a new job. I think it's very important to have a good relationship or create a good relationship with those you work with because you can love the job but hate the people and instantly grow a hatred for that place, and some form of resentment will build and you're going to hate yourself and you're going to hate your life and you're going to wake up every day miserable. So, I'm very fortunate to have the coworkers that I do, especially at the salon, because they make my clients and my coworkers, my colleagues, they make my job worth living and loving, living for and loving. But anyway, another one of my coworkers brought in her rendition of BLT dip because another one brought it in for our Christmas time carry in, and she brought wheat thins to dip it in. And oh my gosh, she hooked me on wheat thins. So much so that I think it might have been like the next day, I kid you not. I got like last minute recruited to go like literally like an hour before it happened. I got a text from my old cosmetology instructor asking if I could come over and judge the little like nails competition that competed in, or I competed locally, but then I had a seizure the day of the regional one, so I didn't get to go. But she asked if I could come in and judge it because she normally has two judges. Obviously, I know the two of them. And one of them woke up with like severe stomach issues. And she was like, I know it's super late, but do you think you could? And I was like, okay, let me make a quick phone call, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I'm already over in I'm already off to the town west of us. And I was like, wait, I'm right by a Walmart. I also ran out of moisturizer this morning. I kid you not. So I'm gonna go get moisturizer and a box of wheat thins. That is exactly what I did. And then I went home. But that day was so much fun. Although I can't tell if I made the competition like more or less intimidating because I was so young. The other judge is literally 5 years older than me. So I don't know. Cause there was, don't get me wrong, I was taking it seriously, and there were parts of me that were just like, oh, when it came to like the rubric and whatnot, because the instructor only gave us a 3-point scale. Buddy, Diva, we needed at least five. But there were definitely some things that I saw where they all have potential. There were some things that I saw were rather unique and they all have a way to go. I still have a way to go because I'm never going to know it all. And I just dropped my lid. But that was such a great and fun day. Um, but me being I couldn't take it. I took it seriously, but not seriously enough to where I wanted to instill fear in these kids because I again want them to enjoy what they did, and both of me and the other judge were once those kids. So I was literally telling the two instructors, I was like, this is such a crazy thing because nails is the reason I decided to go to school. Nails is what I did after school, and now I'm coming back to judge this nail competition. Like, it's super full circle and super crazy. To round this out, last night I was trying to fall asleep, and I don't even know how it came to me. It's just like those really crazy things that keep you up at night, and it's like letters that are spelled with other letters, or specifically W. Why do we have a polysyllabic letter? W, like Double W. Like, what's up with that? Or like L, A. A is pretty fine. Like B, D. Like, what's up with that? Like, that was like a M. Like, is what is what I'm saying even making any sense? Sometimes, especially recently, I've been saying things, and I always have to look at people, and I was like, did what I say just make sense? Because I feel like it might not have. It made sense to me, but I don't know if it translated to you. And that's life, because I guess I'm just a little unique, if you will. Life's been so crazy, and there's been so many stories and fun and interesting, or maybe probably even some sad or not so great things that have happened since I spoke to you last, and I just never wrote them down, nor did I like take pictures or have any memories of in the moment. But oh my gosh, I just remembered something. I finished Reckless last night because I don't know if I mentioned I was reading Reckless, but I know at some point I mentioned I was reading Powerless, and Reckless is the sequel to Powerless. I finished it yesterday. Oh my gosh. The ending of Powerless made me really angry. And then I got maybe like, I think I was maybe like 5 chapters away from the end. And I was like, I already know that the ending is going to make me mad because if it's anything like the first one, it's just going to make me angry. Considering I know the third book is like 600 pages long. So, and then by the final like 2 ish chapters, I was like, I already have a prediction of what's going to happen. And I did end up being right. But it like, oh, like the epilogue killed me. It killed me. And it wasn't like the final chapter, it might have been like the chapter or two before it. Oh my gosh. I think I've already gone back to revisit my favorite scenes from the book. And I'm probably gonna do it again. I need to get my hands on the third one ASAP. Because I just have to know what happens next because I also don't know what to do with myself because I've been reading before I go to bed. So now I just have this like, do I just like straight up go to bed? Because I really shouldn't scroll on my phone because that's not good for you. And I'm sure I could find it in audiobook form somewhere, but I need it tangibly to be in front of me. I need it. I also should, I need to like find a new book series, but I feel like the reason I enjoyed that book so much is because I'm definitely the target demographic. Yeah, it's a very young adult romance fiction novel. Yeah, that's about it. If you wanted to ask me the synopsis, I really couldn't give it to you because it's so multifaceted and there's so many little bits and pieces that pull together to create this insane like juggernaut of a book. I will leave it there. I hope you all have a great week. I'm so glad you spent time with me this week to listen to me talk and tell the stories of my life. And I hope you stick around for next week and the week after that and the week after that and the week after that. I hope you like, I hope you subscribe, I hope you follow, I hope you drop a comment. Again, I am so thankful that you're here because you make this worth living for and this worth loving. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to share my life and maybe when I'm old, I'll watch these videos again so I can remember my youth. Or if I do ever have those kids I previously mentioned, if they ever watch those, they're probably gonna think, wow, she was a really interesting kid. Anyway, it's 2026. Hurrah! Let's rock this new year. Cue the non existent outro.